Hello, my dear addict friends. My name is Emily Sussman, and welcome back to my virtual universe of true love here. Today, we are doing a segment that used to be known as recovery homework, but since that sounds dreadful and unappealing and nobody really wants to do homework, I am now calling this segment Your Journey Deep into the Heart of True Love, because that is exactly what it is. And these are exercises that are designed and meant to bring you closer to what you want. Again, directive self-reflection exercises to put you in touch with not just who you are, but who you are by way of knowing what you want, which is really the good stuff, right? We don't want to identify ourselves by our past, by our mistakes, by our shortcomings. We want to create an identity in love, an authentic identity based on what we love, who we love, and bringing ourselves closer to it. That is the whole objective behind everything I do on this website, this virtual universe of true love. So without further ado, I want to introduce today's exercise topic, whatever you want to call it, creative visualization. And I bring up this book, Creative Visualization by Shakti Gawain, which was apparently a bestseller in the 70s and 80s. Not surprisingly, people used to be into kind of more progressive new age stuff than they are now. But there is nothing woo-woo about creative visualization, everybody. Creative visualization is an extremely powerful practice. And I say practice because this is not a one and done kind of exercise like some of my other exercises that I've presented and will continue to present here. Creative visualization is truly a practice, which means that it is best done when it is done every day, or it is most effective and most powerful when it is done every day. I tend to do my creative visualization first thing in the morning when my mind is still kind of, developing from my night of sleep, before my day gets going and I just start getting, rushed around by every which way. Creative visualization is something that you really need to do without distractions. Please don't have your phone anywhere near you, or if you do, shut it off. Turn it on silent so that you will not be distracted. The whole idea of creative visualization, I don't want to make this a long video because it's not complicated, is intentional daydreaming, okay? And what I mean by that is, by the intentional, you're giving yourself this protected time and space in which to do it, in which to get comfortable, close your eyes, and imagine your mind as like a wide open playground. By the way, this book is very good, but it takes, at least 100 pages to say what I'm trying to say in just a very small short video here. But it is about creating a space for you to use your mind as a wide open playground for what you desire, starting to form pictures in your head, scenarios, circumstances. But again, the idea is to create a visual image for yourself of what something desirable for yourself would be. I'll give you an example. I'm not going to do my own creative visualization right here on the screen because obviously the video itself would be a distraction, but I will relate my own experience from my own creative visualization that I did this morning as, again, part of my own kind of meditative and reflective practice I do early every day. So what was on my mind today wasn't necessarily, envisioning some grand, scheme for my career or my finances or, my family or anything like that. Some days it is. But there had been a particular issue that had been nagging at me, okay? I've had this long-term friendship with one of my friends, and it's just been very complicated in the last 6 months or so. And what I wanted to creatively visualize. I had no idea when I started today, but I wanted to visualize something better than what had been the status quo, which was just a bunch of like exclamation points and question marks in my own mind about like, what's going to happen? What should I do? What's going on with them? You know, what if, right? So what I ended up coming up with in my creative visualization, this took me, I don't know, anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, because at first my mind was going crazy, right? It was again going down that rabbit hole of like the what ifs and like, I'm so mad about this, and you know, just kind of that emotional storm that had been raging for some days. And eventually what I came up with in my creative visualization wasn't like a plan of what I'm gonna do. It was really just an image, and it was an image of something that was actually right next to me in the room that I was doing this in, which was a plant. And I'll try to take a picture so you guys can see this plant, but it is a very tall, kind of stalky plant with, you know, leaves coming out like this, almost like a little palm. And I imagined myself as this very strong and sturdy stalk, with a very strong backbone, in other words. I wanted to visualize myself as somebody who doesn't get tossed and turned around by especially someone else's circumstances or, you know, sort of petty issues within, let's say, a friendship. I wanted to, it turned out, I wanted to remain strong and confident and secure in myself, no matter what was going on around me. And, you know, it's been a few hours since I did this visualization, but that image is still really strong in my mind. And it is such a better image, at least for me, than again, that sort of storm and current of, you know, never-ending current of negative thoughts, negative predictions, negative catastrophizing. Instead, I have this kind of, you know, inspiring image to help me sort through what I'm gonna do, which is, again, rising above, literally rising above the pettiness, like this nice, tall, strong, sturdy plant, where I can get to a place that's peaceful, and that's true to me. That's really all I have to say about creative visualization. Again, this is so simple, you really can't mess it up. The only kind of extra thing I would add would be to start writing down what you come up with in your creative visualizations. I'm going to have another segment soon about the what I call the what I want list, which is another daily practice. And you can use your creative visualizations to inform sort of this ongoing list you're creating, not just list, but record you're creating of what it is you desire. So that's all I've got for today. I hope that inspired you to take some time for yourself and start making this a practice. I do recommend the book. I will put a link in the video to information about that too. And I will see you next time on our journey deep into the heart of true love. Take care till then.